beautiful people. I'm sitting by this absolutely gorgeous sister of mine. It's just so beautiful, and yeah, so I'm just gonna sit here and you can enjoy the beauty of the rose. And while we're talking about love, and the rose and love is very much connected. I don't know if the rose is the symbol of the rose, it symbolizes love, but anyway. So, yeah, the last video where I was talking about the whole thing of the kingdom of God within us, and how when we allow ourselves to reach, to stop focusing on the outer world and searching for all the goodness and all the healing out there, and allowing ourselves to really center ourselves and feel that everything we're searching for is in us. That when we allow ourselves to do this every day, we start to heal, and all the deep healing that's needed will happen. And so, how does the healing happen? And why do we need to heal? Well, because we're all carrying on to the human condition, the pain of mankind. Every one of us, except for a very few who've completely freed themselves. We're all carrying on to these layers of the old way of being human that's been going on for many, many thousands of years. It's just being grabbed by the darkness. And this whole experience, which I've mentioned many times, has been necessary for us. And the fact that we're actually carrying on to this pain within us, it gives us the possibility to actually clean it out. So many of us who, when we came to Earth, we actually took the pain onto us so that we could clean it out. And the thing is, because we're all connected, because we're all one, when we clean away something in our own lives, in our own system, we're actually lifting it off the whole planet. And it just sounds so strange, and it just sounds impossible, but it's not. Every time we lighten our burden, the whole earth is lighter and more free and more loving. And so when we allow ourselves to have this inner practice, these layers, and I think it's so beautiful. I experienced the first time in a kinesiology session many, many years ago when I was in my early 20s. And the first pain, it was something about my father, my relationship to my father, that first lot of pain was released. It was so powerful. And I mean, this is 30 years ago or more. And so I've been going through layers and layers and layers and layers. And the beautiful thing is that it's the layer that comes to the surface, to your consciousness, is the one that is ready to be released. You have gained the amount of maturity and strength and inner wisdom so that you can release it. And we can't do it all in one go. Very few people do that. That's like a miraculous healing or something. Most of us, we take it layer by layer. And so that is just so comforting. Because when you've never been on the healing journey, and I've got this line here, when you've just move the camera a little bit, because I have this line thing in my face, I think. That's better. When you have never tried this before, you're afraid that it's going to be really scary, because you can hold so much anger and so much things that actually make you quite scared. But it's not like that. It's and another thing I just realized the other day, I was talking to someone. Be loving in this. Don't try to go into this. When you go into the kingdom of God, you go it out of love. You do it out of love. And the whole healing process, to have the approach that I'm doing this lovingly, because I love myself and I love the earth, and I want to help the earth heal. I want to help myself have a beautiful life. I'm not doing this to just clean it out, push it away, get rid of it, all the bad stuff in me, because it's really not bad. It's actually, it sounds so strange, but in the old way of thinking, we think that this is bad stuff we have to get out so that we can be the goody ones that we're meant to be. But it's really not that. It's very strange, really. But the so-called negative is actually, they're cleansing us, and they're shaping us. It's like God's hands that are shaping this clay and making this beautiful, beautiful pot, or this rough diamond that's being polished. And so these that we call negative, or feelings, that old stuck feelings that are coming up layer by layer, it feels uncomfortable. But really, from the deep wisdom of the heart, it's actually very, very beautiful. So the more we can allow ourselves to see this as a very, very beautiful process, and see ourselves as very courageous and very, very wonderful beings when we do this. We're not baddies who need to clean out all this bad stuff that's in us. It's just not like that. But it feels like that, and I know that for myself. And when you're doing this, you think to yourself, oh no, not another layer of pain that I've been holding on to. And you think, this can't be right, because I've been doing this for so many years. How can I still be holding on to pain? But we are. So I can just share this about myself, and that's what I think is, that it's really the easiest thing to do, just tell you where I am at in my life. And often it's the most helpful, because we're all in this together. There's no experts here, really. We're all experts. So, and I've mentioned this one before, it's the feeling that is just surfacing now in my life, is the feeling of not feeling loved. And I mean, how can this be? I've been doing this for so long. Well, it's there. The feeling of not being loved by people around me. And really, in one way, it's very true, because it is often like that. People don't like you. People don't love you. But really, it is a lie, because deep down, we're all love. And where we're going, the way we're going to become our God's selves, the condition we're going to be in is with a deep feeling of being loved always. It will be a foundational feeling within us. And for most of us, the feeling of not being loved is just normal, because it's been so hostile on this planet for so long. There's been so much violence and hatred and wars, and no matter what you did, you were hated for whatever. You were too good, too bad, too sick, too well, whatever. So the feeling of not being loved, I think, is just so deeply rooted in most of us. And we will be taking this layer by layer, because even when you've taken a layer of it, there still probably will be more of it, because it's just so deeply ingrained in us. And then coming back to the whole thing of us creating our lives, because it all bites itself in the tail. So when I have a feeling, I'm carrying on to the feeling of not being loved, the world around me will not love me. because I'm attracting this feeling. And as I mentioned in one of my videos, we're actually addicted to these feelings. It sounds so sick. We're addicted to a feeling that we're used to. And if you're used to feeling not loved, you actually need the feeling to keep you going because it's normal for you. So when I say to myself, I'm not loved, it sounds more normal and natural than I am loved. It sounds strange. But see, that's the one that's the truth. I feel unloved is really a lie. But because it's been going on for so long, we think it's normal. We think it's natural. It's not. So my inner self, my soul self, my God self says, okay, Katrina, we're ready to release this part of you that has been deeply ingrained in your system all your life, and maybe many lives. It doesn't exist in your soul. It's part of your personality that you feel unloved. And see, what we do when we're living in our ego, we try to change people around us so they start loving us so that we can feel loved. And I know I'm doing this all the time, although I thought I had stopped. Because that would be so great. Make them love you. But see, if I keep going around feeling that I'm not loved, they will, no matter what I do, they'll never stop. So the only way I'm going to attract people who love me into my life, which is really not what I really do need, the actual major goal is to actually feel loved. But anyway, when I learn this, when I really, really master the feeling of being loved, I will attract people who love me in my life. It will be natural. And then my God, the earth will feel this when I learn this, and my life will completely transform, and the whole world will be affected. The world will be a more loving place. So how do we do this? Well, the first thing is when I notice in myself I'm actually feeling unloved, and I can see I do certain things in my life that actually creates the feeling in me. It keeps strengthening the feeling. So the very, very first step is to say I recognize a feeling of being unloved in me, and I allow it to be there. Just allow the feeling to surface. We don't want to push it away. We don't want to just remedy it and just push it, just make it go away. So just admit to myself that I've been doing this all my life. I've been carrying on to this all my life. The feeling of being unloved. And I can say to myself and to God, to the world, I'm now ready to release this old feeling. I don't want it anymore. I don't like it. It's not healthy. It's actually very, very unhealthy. Because our cells are not built to feel unloved. They're made out of love. The whole prana, the energy, the chi, the life force of the earth is love. It's the force of love. And so when I keep telling my trillions of cells you're not loved, they're in a mess. So, of course, I will feel this in my physical body. So, accept the feeling. I'm feeling unloved. Tell yourself that you're prepared now, and you ask the angels. That is so important. I haven't said this enough. I'll say this now. Ask for help. Ask the angels. Ask the beings around you. I've been told I've got 12 beings around me all the time helping me, trying to help me heal. They're working day and night to help me see more wisdom, release more pain, feel more love, feel more free, feel completely free. That's their goal. Ask them for your help, for their help, and then they will help you. But they can't interfere if you don't ask them. They can only do a little bit. So I can just do this now. I accept within myself that I've had this feeling, and I still have this feeling of being unloved for whatever reason. And I'm now ready to let it go. Set it free. And I ask for all the help that I need in this process of just releasing this feeling. And then we can do many things. You can use EFT, even though I have this feeling of being unloved. I now choose to love and appreciate myself, and you just go through this feeling unloved. And so we can do so many things. And then as we move on, start practicing every day. That's what I'm going to do. Just the feeling, which I've mentioned before in another video. How does it feel to feel loved? What is the physical feeling? When people, you imagine all these beautiful people around you who are just beaming, looking onto you like this gorgeous little baby and just sending their love. How does it feel in my body? And I can actually create the feeling in me. And that's what they say, all these quantum gurus. Feel it. Whatever you want, feel it in your body, and it will come true very quickly. You will release the pain, and you will feel loved every day, every night, all the rest of your life, forever. So practice the feeling. How does it feel in my body when I'm feeling deeply loved by everyone around me? All the world is just beaming this love onto me. It feels wonderful. It feels more than wonderful. It's the best feeling. I am loved. There's no doubt in my mind, in every part of my body, I feel loved. In every part of my mind, I feel loved. In all my soul, all my being, I feel completely loved. So this was wonderful to share, and that's right where I am right now. And this video will come a little bit later, so because everything has changed on this channel. We're going back to sending the videos just as they come, and so yeah, the videos are a little bit old in the beginning, and then they will be more and more fresh. So yeah, if you could use this on your journey, it's really wonderful. And know that when you work with these feelings, releasing these feelings and allowing yourself to feel the truth, to stop living the lie, which is that you're not loved, and to start living the truth, you are helping the whole world, everything. So it's so powerful. So see you soon, my friend. Bye. Let's just have a last look at the rose. See, it needs some water here. I can see it's got a bit of, needs some more water. So thank you, Lord, for all the love that is filling the earth. There is all the love we need, and we have all the love within us. Thank you,